The Art Gallery of Burlington, a treasure for all in the heart of the city. A place to see beautiful art, to make beautiful art, and to own beautiful art. A place to enjoy the finest collection of Canadian ceramics in the world. A collection that has taken 40 years to amass and is celebrated in our new show, open now, The Weight of Clay.
The AGB started collecting ceramics in '83 and has since amassed the largest collection of contemporary Canadian ceramics globally. So we hold in excess of 4,000 items in the collection, and they range from functional forms to sculptural pieces, from pieces as small as a teacup to sculptures as large as 8 to 10 feet in height. So it really is a broad spectrum.
The collection's a fascinating thing. Most people think of it just as a series of objects, but really a collection is really a set of relationships. We have a very unusual collection here, in as much as I would sit and say probably 90% of it has been given to us by donors, people who have loved these pieces and want them to go on somewhere where they will be loved. And so we worked with donors and we worked with artists, and really it was a very long series of relationships, and collectors would introduce me to artists, artists would introduce me to collectors, and so really it was that human interaction more than the fact that I wanted this pot or I wanted that jar.
We've got 4,000 works to celebrate, and out of the 4,000 works we're really only going to have 40 that we're highlighting. So Jonathan Smith, who's the curator emeritus at the Art Gallery Burlington, looked at the 40-year history, isolating one work by one artist for every year. And it might not be the year that it was made, but it was the year in which it was acquired by the gallery. So looking at that acquisition over that period of time, it's going to create a chronological list. So as you move through the gallery space, one year after the next is going to be identified by one work. So not only are you going to see the collection history of the art gallery, but also the history of Canadian contemporary clay. So looking at artists' burgeoning techniques, proficiencies, different types of sculptural forms and functional forms, throughout the entire space.
Most of our collection comes in from donors. So we've got a nice mix of sculptural and functional pieces. It's always interesting when you get in, for instance, a dinner place setting or a mug where people have been using them for years, because you also get the stories behind the families as well who have been using the pieces. And then coming in, it's a change of how those objects move from being part of a family into a collection. So they actually become more of a speaker towards decor, either in Canada, kind of an earmark of techniques being used by potters, what's in style, also kind of tastes and all of that as well. So it takes on different narratives that the pieces can tell.
I think that an exhibition such as The Weight of Clay is really going to bring individuals, community members back again and again and again. Not only is because you get an opportunity to see each one of these works in a different light every time you come, because there's going to be a lot of works and reading in the space, but we have a very robust program that goes alongside it. We have people that are going to be working in our studios, artists who are going to be doing demonstrations on the weekends. We have gallery guides that are going to be illuminating the collection via tours, doors open. But we're also going to have a number of panel discussions that'll happen online and also in person, looking at the past, present, and future of clay in the country.
So I think we take a multi-layered approach to the artistic programming here, whether it's working with the collection or just the exhibitions and programs in general, that we want to service the Burlington community and recognize the local artists that are here. We also want to celebrate emerging artists and give them an opportunity. Equally, you know, as a Canadian institution, we want to look across the country as well and profile the works of leading artists from all over. So it's really a dual kind of approach that we take, and that brings richness to the programming that we do.
I can remember coming through the doors the very first time with my kids when they were taking programs here and looking at some of the ceramics in the windows, and we would stop and pick out our favorites and talk about the different types of ceramics that were on display. And little did I know at that time that this was part of the largest collection of Canadian ceramics in the world. Not just in the country, but in the world. And so you in the community will have an opportunity to come and see 40 different artists, 40 pieces of work spanning 40 years, one for each year of those 4 decades, so that we can honor and celebrate this incredible achievement, again, that's right here in the city of Burlington, largest collection of Canadian ceramics in the world. The Art Gallery of Burlington, it's free, it's fabulous, and it's for you.